You are now tuned in to 2 to 3 with Janet Leigh. Right now, today's guest on the line is producer, writer, director Tony Germinario. I think I said that right. You're most welcome. How is the weather where you're calling from today?
Actually, today it's beautiful, and out in western New Jersey, and after about 3 or 4 days of blistering humidity, it is now actually in the high 70s with a nice breeze.
Oh, wow.
So, little break before it'll go back to the drastic humidity of summer.
Wow, yeah. I'm in North Carolina, and it's 86 degrees, and it's hot, humid out here.
That's North Carolina is beautiful.
Yeah, for the most part, most definitely. So, how long have you been producing, writing, and directing?
Well, I started off as a writer, so I've been writing scripts probably for close to about 10 years now. I was formerly a touring musician, but when we got a little bit older and could really, play clubs in Maryland at 11 o'clock at night in front of 3 people,
right.
I kind of made my switch over into screenwriting.
Mm-hmm.
My first script was awful. Then my next one was a little less awful, and it just it progressively got better from there.
Right.
But I'd say it's about 5 or 6 years ago, I was actually hired to write a script for someone out in California, a gentleman by the name of Troy Skinner. He hired me to write a script. It was just $100, but I was now a professional screenwriter.
Right.
And got to write the script, but more importantly, I got a relationship and wrote a couple of short films together that did well in the festival circuit. A film a couple of years ago that I was the writer on, and actually was picked up by Lionsgate, and for Bad Frank to try my hand directing myself. So I wrote the script, he wrote the show, and then Kevin Donato and Ross Russo, who are in Bad Frank, both came on board as co-writers and worked on additional drafts, and the rest is history.
Oh, wow. How long, and before I get into that, you're mentioning Bad Frank, how long did it take you to write that, for one, and for two, can you let the listeners know exactly what Bad Frank is about?
Sure. It wasn't that long a process. The first draft, I think, took a couple of months, and then once we started getting into some of the rewrites, that actually moved pretty quickly.
Oh, wow.
So Bad Frank, it's basically about a guy who has impulse control disorder. He's got a lot of relationships and alienated everyone from when he was younger. And the film takes place several years later. He's trying to reconnect with family and friends and, right the ship and do right by everybody. And just as he's about to do that, he runs out of his medication and he runs back into his old boss, and all hell breaks loose from there.
Oh, wow. Now, where was Bad Frank filmed at?
Mostly in my house.
Oh, wow.
We are, never be able to tell that by looking at it and tell it was like a multi-million-dollar film, but we spent all of $80,000 to make it, mainly because we used all of my house, my friends' houses, other places that, restaurants I've gone to, bars I hang out in. We were very fortunate that everyone let us use their places for free. And we had a DP, his name is Mike Hecanova, who was just phenomenal with the camera. So we have some gorgeous, we have some great performances, and, it was all done locally here right around my hometown.
Oh, wow. That's amazing. Now, what was the inspiration behind Bad Frank?
It's very interesting. So, in a weird way, I never really remember any dreams that I have. Everybody goes, I dreamt about this, I dreamt about that. I almost never do it. I mean, it's years and years in between when that actually happens. And a couple of years ago, I just happened to wake up in the middle of the night, and I had this idea pop into my head around kind of a kidnap thriller. A guy who kidnapped a girl in a basement. And that was really the genesis of Bad Frank. So it's been there, and the original draft, most of it took place in the basement. And then when Kevin and Russ got on board, it evolved into what the film actually is. There's a lot more depth behind it,
Right.
a lot more scenes and different characters that were originally in it. But that's really where it started. It was it sounds kind of corny, but it all came from a tree.
Now, Bad Frank has won right many awards through the festivals and stuff. Now, when you first done Bad Frank and produced it and everything, did you expect all of these awards that you received for this film?
No, I mean, it's absolutely not. I mean, I thought we had a good film, but, you never expect to win it. There's so many good films that are out there. There's stuff about one or something. I've seen other films and you can walk out and they're like, it was really good.
Right.
Because anytime you make your own film, as good as it might be, you always, you say, I wish we could have done that. I wish we could have done this differently. I wish we could have done that.
Right.
And, so you never expect those sort of things. But we've been very fortunate that, the festival circuit has been pretty nice to us.
Right.
And, the performances we had were great. So I'm so happy that, we're getting good reviews and people are actually, putting some accolades on it because the cast definitely deserves it.
Right, most definitely. Now, are you working on anything else currently right now?
Yeah, I actually am. I'm about 6 weeks out from starting filming my follow-up. So Lynn Mancinelli, who was in Bad Frank, who plays Crystal Duro, the daughter of the main bad guy, she and I started developing a script together a while back. So I sent her an idea, which I thought might be a little bit too over the top, and she's like, "No, let's go further." That's how I knew this was going to be a good pairing again. So we're working on a script. It's called The Price for Silence, and it's basically about it's a rape revenge story. It's about a girl who was raped when she was younger, and her father took money in order to stay quiet.
Oh, wow.
So years later, the father has passed away, and she now returns home for the funeral, but also to confront all the people from her family and her friends, and and the rapist himself.
Wow. Now that seems a very interesting plot, and I'm wondering how that's going to work out throughout the film. That's going to be amazing.
Yeah, it's going to be dark again, like Bad Frank was dark, and this is certainly going to be right along those lines. It's funny, anyone who meets me, this is the complete opposite of who I am. So they figure that, by me doing this is a way of getting it out of my system, and better to do it on film than some other method.
Yeah, I would say so. Now, is Bad Frank available for people to see right now, or is it being released soon?
It is just about to be released. So the official release date is July 7th.
Oh, okay.
But it is currently available on iTunes for pre-order and on Amazon for pre-order and all that good stuff. And, we're putting out a big marketing campaign to try and boost things up. We're not a big budget film by any means, so we have to compete with all of the big budget blockbusters out there.
Right.
So we're trying to do, as much of a grassroots campaign as we can to get get people aware of the film and to check it out. Like I said, the performances were so good. I really want to make sure that they get the attention they deserve.
Yes, most definitely. Now, are there going to be any like a premiere event for the film when it is released?
Yeah, we're planning on something. It's probably going to be a Facebook Live event along with some other things tied to it.
Okay.
So we've got a couple things in the works right now, and we've got a PR person that's been working with us and doing some really cool stuff, setting up interviews such as this, which is greatly appreciated.
Oh, yes.
But yeah, we're going to do a couple cool things. So
awesome.
You can keep an eye out for us on Twitter and Instagram to see some of the things that we're going to be doing.
Oh, amazing. Now, is there by chance going to be opportunities when it's released on DVD for people to get signed copies of it?
Absolutely. If anyone does get the DVD, they can send in, and I have access to all of the cast. So we can
awesome.
definitely get signed DVDs set up for people, and we love that stuff. Anytime you can get fans, and to me that's still crazy.
Right.
I'm just a guy working out of his basement, New Jersey. So to actually have someone consider themselves a fan, that's great. But the other actors, they have great people that they work with as well. So yeah, we could definitely do that.
Oh, that's amazing, and that's good that you're into being able to get copies signed and stuff, because a lot of fans do like that. A lot of times they like to buy 2 copies so they can have one signed and not open.
Oh, sure.
And the other one to watch.
Myself. I mean, on the wall in my basement, I've got a big Kevin Smith, Zach and Miri Make a Porno signed Kevin Smith poster. Right?
Oh, wow.
I love that stuff.
Most definitely. And what was your inspiration? Because I know you said you started out writing music and stuff like that. What was your inspiration to go ahead and start writing screenplays?
I've always been a huge movie buff. When I was a kid, film was really the way that my father and I connected. My production company were actually called Vincenzo Productions, which was named after my dad. So, I was always an avid film fan. I always loved the, kind of the inner workings of a film, the storyline, the script. How did they get this, this angle on this shot and stuff like that.
Right.
And, once I got into, music started dying down, I had taken a screenwriting course when I was in college, and I really enjoyed it, but the music thing kind of took over for a while.
Right.
And I just started getting back into it, and, it really has been my passion for as long as I can remember. Even when I was making movies, I had been trying to figure out, how do we get our songs on soundtracks? And we should really try and get into movies somehow.
Right.
But that didn't work out, but that's okay. Just very happy to be doing this, and, hopefully if people like that, Frank, and if they like the next one, I'll be able to move on to some bigger budgets and do some bigger things for film.
Yeah. Now, with Bad Frank, you actually wrote, produced, and directed. Which one, like, if you had to choose out of those 3 of producing, writing, or directing, which one could you not live without doing?
Which one could I not live without doing?
Yes.
That's an excellent question. I love writing the stories. So that's probably the one, because, they're so tied together, right? Because now, especially that I have directed something, I can't see writing something I don't direct.
Right.
Because I wouldn't want to write something and then give it over to someone else and expect them to have the same vision that I do. Right? Not that it's right or wrong, but, I have in my head when I'm writing something, all right, it's going to look cool like this. It's going to have this angle, and we're going to do all that. Given into someone else's hands, they might see that scene completely different.
Right.
Not wrong or right, but it's just not the way I would do it. So I would have to say writing, but, you're tagging directing directly onto it from there. The producing stuff, I could do without that. It's fun, but it's a hell of a lot of work.
Yeah, most definitely. Now, have you done acting?
No. This is a face made for radio, so I am very happy to stay behind the camera. I have no desire to go in front of the camera.
Okay. You wouldn't even do just like a cameo in a film?
I did one once, and I'd consider it my little Hitchcock moment, I suppose. If it were right. I don't need to be on screen all the time by any means. And I'm happy to just be behind the screen. There's so many better people to do stuff, and maybe I'll do my one where I'm walking across the camera, and I'll break the fourth wall and just stare at the camera for a second and just walk right on. That's the only way I could really see myself doing it now.
Wow. Well, before we go, can you let the fans and listeners know where they can follow you at on social media to keep up when the films and stuff will be released and what you're working on?
Absolutely. So for the film, you can go to @BadFrankMovie at Twitter and Instagram and on Facebook. And for myself, I am Tony Germ, Germ, on the same platforms, on Twitter, on Instagram, Facebook, just about anything, you name it. If there's a platform, Tony Germ's probably on it.
Is there any shout-outs you would like to give before we go?
Just a huge shout out to the entire cast and crew. Because it's such a low budget film, these guys killed themselves in order to put the product together, and it came out so well to everyone. Even the PAs and the grips, and we had one sound guy for the entire film, and the entire camera crew. Everybody just did a phenomenal job up and down. So I don't want to mention one person, because if I do and forget one person, I'll feel bad. So I'll just say the entire cast and crew and everybody who helped us. We couldn't have done it without everybody.
Amazing. Now, feel free to share any of your films or anything to my pages. and on Twitter and Facebook and Instagram. So I can also be able to get the word out there, or just shoot me a message or something with some links, and then I can share it to my page as well to my listeners.
Absolutely. This has been a lot of fun. I mean, this is great. I love talking about the film, and I appreciate you having me on. And anything we can do to get it out there, I'm always grateful for the opportunity.
Yes, and you're welcome. And thank you for taking the time out of your day to come on my show and talk a little bit about it.
Awesome. I look forward to doing it again in the next one.
Yes, most definitely. Okay, well, you have a great day, and we'll talk again soon.
All right. Thanks so much. I really appreciate it.
Bye-bye.
Take care.
That was producer, writer, director Tony Germinario. We're to be looking out for the release of Bad Frank, July 7th. You can go to iTunes and Amazon to pre-order the movie, as well as he said you get a DVD, you may send it, and they will have the cast and crew and whoever sign it for you. Check him out on social media. Just Google his name, Google the movie, and there you go. Thank you all for tuning in to 2 to 3 with Janet Leigh.